Welcome back to Dave's COVID Kitchen. We are making macaroni and cheese today. This is a personal favorite of mine. If you are the person in your family who is allowed to bring the mac and cheese to Christmas and Thanksgiving and birthdays and family reunions, you are a badass in the kitchen. It is a coveted dish and one that sparked tremendous outrage and debate when a woman was featured on a cooking show adding a melange of vegetables to it. If you are a macaroni and cheese purist, you know that's a no-no. Today we're going to be making a pure macaroni and cheese recipe that is baked in the oven. Let me walk you through the ingredients. Your ingredients are going to be, of course, macaroni noodles. You're going to need a couple tablespoons of flour, milk, and I actually like to use a little half and half. Why? Because it gives me a slightly richer, creamier kind of recipe at the end than just milk by itself. You're gonna need a couple eggs, definitely a lot of butter. I use a stick. And then you're gonna need a block of cheese, cheddar. I usually stick with sharp cheddar to medium cheddar in my recipe. You're gonna need some slices for the top, and I actually use shredded cheese for my roux. So, lastly, we're gonna season it with salt and pepper, and I always garnish the top of mine with some paprika. So I'm making my roux with butter, melted down. It's a little high. And then I'm going to add my flour. And then I'm going to add my milk. I'm using Evap milk for my roux. I like the richness that it gives the casserole. So I've done some butter, flour, Evap milk. I'm going to add some salt and pepper. And then my shredded cheese to get a nice roux. When I do my mac and cheese, I do whatever my number of ounces of noodles are, I do equal parts of cheese, and I do some chunks of sharp cheddar, and then I do a medium or a mild throughout. I'm going to use a shredded mild for this roux. Just keep stirring that. I am stirring the roux for my macaroni and cheese. It's made with butter, a little bit of flour. I use Evap milk because I like the creaminess that it gives the mac and cheese as opposed to whole milk. And I've just added a cup of mild shredded cheddar to the roux. So I'm going to cook this down, and I'm going to pour it over my al dente noodles in the casserole dish, and I'm going to add my chunks of sharp cheddar cheese, some more butter, and mix that up and then bake it. Alright, so I've taken my noodles and tossed them in my roux. You see it's a beautiful creamy cheddar cheese sauce. The noodles are fully covered in, along with some butter that's sliced up and 2 eggs. The last step in this process is for me to crumble in my chopped extra sharp cheddar, which to me is like the secret ingredient to this, because when you actually bite into the casserole, you get a nice bite, like a tang to your cheese flavor that comes from that extra sharp cheddar. And it's not predominant. I use less of that than the mild because it is very, it's a very flavorful cheese, but it really does add something to this casserole to have that strength of the sharp cheddar in here. So I'm going to fold this in and then put it in the oven with foil and start the baking process. The final touch to this dish is going to be to add slices of cheddar cheese sprinkled with black pepper and some paprika to garnish. And but I'm going to do that after the casserole has pretty much fully baked, and I'll just add those cheese slices for the last maybe 10 to 15 minutes of baking or so. Let it get a nice melt and a nice crust to it to finish it off. Yay!